Hello, welcome back to Riftforge Studio. It's been a while since we've done one of these videos, so I'm going to take a little look through the recent Heresy Thursday releases and the ones that were announced, I think, at Warhammer Fest. No one else in the studio was available today. They're all busy doing, I don't know what they do on a Friday night, cow tipping or something. Maybe not, I might have made that up. So I've drafted in a guest, which is the uber awesome Reece from Attrition Gaming. So hello, Reece.
Hi guys.
Goodness me, I don't know if I was quiet or that was really loud. Either way, I love it. It's great. Right. So as you can see, I've got the Warhammer community page up. So I'm just going to scroll down and have a look at librarian. So this librarian console, obviously, like all the other consoles, Mark 6. What did you think of this, Reece, when you first saw it? Do you remember it?
Yeah. I'm going through them as we're discussing them. I must admit, actually, I quite like this.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few that doesn't really have a massive problem with the Mark 6.
No,
And
I'm fine. I'm fine with Mark 6.
yeah, but I know a lot of people like them. There's obviously within our chat, isn't there? There's a bit of banter about it, but I quite like it, and sort of the thing that to be honest, that piqued my interest was it was a rather plain model from recent GW standards.
Yeah, it was. Well, you all know this pretty well, but my biggest complaint about these things when they come out is that it's like a sticker album and they don't leave any blank armor panels. They've got to put an icon or a trinket or some sort of detail on it, and sometimes it's nice just to have the plain armor panel to paint or put a transfer on or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think it's just enough, isn't it? You've got a few little fancy bits of trim to make it, differentiate. Obviously, he's got his cloak and his tabard, so you know that he's definitely a man of
Man of the
prowess.
cloth.
Yeah.
I think the only thing about it that I don't like, and I actually agree with you, I do think the model's pretty good. The only thing I don't like is the skull on top of the backpack. And I don't really know why. I think maybe just because it harks back to lots of 40k models that came out like that, and maybe that's my kind of prejudice showing through. But yeah, on the whole, I agree. I think he's pretty good. Certainly no real complaints. I have complaints about some of the other ones, but not him. I think he's all right.
Yeah, I quite like him as well.
I like the hand as well.
Yeah, the old you shall not pass is that's a.
I'm not sure what he's got a load of keys for. Is that a librarian thing?
I suppose. Yeah, you've got to lock up the library when you go to battle.
Yeah, important details. Okay, so let's have a look at the Decurion Sagittar. This is the fists only one, isn't it?
Well,
yeah. So we spoke about this on. We did a stream about the Sons of Horus faction review a little while ago, and we spoke about the Decurions. I think the Sons of Horus had one, didn't they? I think this guy was mentioned because he seems to be. Well, I suppose in my view, mate, I think they're not really needed. The Legion specific ones for these probably aren't needed, and maybe just a general Decurion console model would have been cool to go with any of the pencil sets. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's my personal opinion, just a cash cow. I mean,
he's a few quid too, isn't he?
Yeah, the assault cannon for Imperial Fist players and Blood Angels players as well, to be honest, because you can take them, but it wouldn't be a difficult thing to kit back. Imagine you have some form of rotor cannon or something lying around.
Yeah.
And as for anyone using any other gun that isn't the assault cannon, you get one with every vehicle you buy, and everyone's got spares. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could easily, if you wanted to make him this character, you could easily, with a few shoulder pads or a head or, whatever. I just felt this is a completely sort of unnecessary like, if you like it, because, he's got the bionic arm and the Terminator head.
Yep.
Like, so if that, you think that's cool.
Yeah, there'll be a market for him, won't they? Somebody will want to buy him, sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, for me personally, like, if I'm dropping nearly 30 quid on a model that is basically something I could just make anyway, that's just wasted money, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I find myself thinking I'm very indifferent to these Decurion. Well, The model's fine, but I think just the Decurion, the
Yeah, I
concepts
mean,
and the rules in general.
yeah, it's like I mean, I do get it and I don't get it. I feel like they don't really need. I don't even really know where they've come from myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's tank commanders are cool,
Yeah,
but like it should just be a generic tank commander.
yeah, I think it should. I think just a generic Decurion model would have
Yeah,
been fine. I don't Legion
I
specific
don't.
ones. Not really sure.
Is a bit excessive. Like you could always do that with a Legion specific helmet out of one of the upgrade kits or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But we agree the model looks okay.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
it looks good. Well, I mean, I've never been a fan of bionics.
On non-iron hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm not. I mean, obviously, war injuries are war injuries in the the 30th millennium. But it's got some cool heads. I'm just sort of going through it now. There's like, so actually, to be honest, as an Imperial Fist player, there's some pretty cool heads in there that would make some good character heads. But again, I'm not dropping 30 quid for 2 or 3 heads. So
No. Okay.
that's my take on it.
And just looking at the upgrades that were announced same sort of time. Oh, that was this made to order pads, was it? I'm looking at now. Yeah, okay. We've probably seen those before then, so no need to go over those. Okay, so let's go and have a look now at what was the next thing they really announced that we didn't have time to pick up on. Do you want to talk? Should we talk about Legions Imperialis? You're a bit on the fence with this, aren't you? Whereas I'm not. I'm very, very much not on the fence. I'm head over heels over the fence and buried deep in the mud. I'm well up for this. I've wanted to get back into epic scale gaming basically since it disappeared. I was into the original Epic way back, and then at the time that Epic came along again was about the time I was hitting pubs and going through that phase of your life, and I found Games Workshop and everything again later on, and then Epic was gone by then. So I'm happy that it's back, and it's going to be using the Titanicus models I've got loads of, and it's going to be using the Aeronautica models I've got loads of, and some new stuff. But I get the feeling that you're not as keen. So why aren't you as keen?
Um,
Or do you just like your war in 28 mil?
yeah, I like big stuff, and I just like everything as big as possible. Like, I don't have anything against it, and I'll probably partake. Same as you, I've got a couple of Titan Legios. I've got a load of Space Marine Aeronautica, so that was lucky, really. That'll go obviously straight across. And I'll probably partake. I might get a starter box or something. But I don't know. I mean, it could be for me. It could just be because I was very late in, even as a kid, when I first got into Warhammer first time round. It was quite late. I was probably 15 or 16.
Yeah.
So, like most people have been doing it since they were young, haven't they?
My only fear for this game is and this is one of the things that will make it very accessible, and one of the things that might kill it as well is 3D printing, because you're going to be able to print pretty much an army on a single build plate for this, and I think people might use that to get into the game, and then they won't sell as many boxes or as many kits because people are just printing armies left, right, and centre, and it might go away pretty quickly. I hope not, because we're waiting for it for a long time, and I'd really love to have a game with this that's not actually this game, but we're just playing 30k standard 30k rules, just increase the ranges on everything and use this scale just to see what it would be like to have a massive game.
Yeah, well, like I say, like I'm sure, like, to be honest, I'm sure once I play a couple of games, I'll probably be hooked. But I'm generally like that addictive personality and all that. But yeah, I never played Epic as before.
So there's no nostalgia for you, is there?
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no nostalgia. There's no like, oh, I can't wait to do that again, sort of thing. Excuse me, I've got a bad throat. But yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't say I'm not up for it. It's not like I saw it release and I thought, oh god, I hope everyone doesn't start playing that. I don't want to play that. But yeah, I would say I'm interested, but I'm not on the hype train. I'm definitely not.
Fair enough. fair enough.
Like, yeah, jumping up and down. You know, like some
I'm
people.
very much on the hype train. I think Luke
Yeah,
is
you
as
are
well.
pretty
Actually,
ecstatic. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
think both maybe.
Well, a few of the boys are, aren't they?
Yeah. Like Rick and Sean are. They're a bit more like you. I think they're gonna play it, and I'll have a look and see what it's about. But they're not bothered either way, really. Tom's kind of flat no. He says the models look derpy and he's not interested. So can't please everyone, I guess. But yeah, I quite like it. I love the fact that you can use the Titanicus stuff. I love the fact that there's new weapons coming out for them.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I did like that, to be fair.
I thought it was interesting that they also done loads of plastic solar at that scale too. So it makes you wonder if there's going to be solar stuff coming out on a larger scale, because they did hint, didn't they, at a mystery army for some point this year or next year. I can't remember when it was. So I wonder if it's going to be that.
Well, that'll upset some people, won't it?
Yeah. I mean, it won't upset me because I don't really have very much, but I imagine it'll upset Luke, who spent an absolute fortune on solar tanks.
Millions of pounds.
Yeah. I also noticed that all the pictures of the Sakaar and Omega have the plasma turrets the other way up. So
Yeah, that annoyed me. That did.
yeah, I think maybe when that finally lands in plastic, that's how that's going to be as well. They're going to change the design, because every other plasma tank pretty much has its plasma kind of horizontal, isn't it, not vertical. So it's strange that they had that anyway.
Yeah, especially given Sakaran's a reasonably low-profile tank for the 31st millennium.
Yeah, indeed. No, I quite like the models. I love the. Actually, you know, we didn't talk about those solar auxiliary sentinels they've done for Legions Imperialis. Did you see those?
The heavy sentinels, yes.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think they're going to be coming in larger scale? It makes sense, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you see these sort of things, isn't it? Like, with the way, obviously, especially upscaling is so sort of much easier than it used to be, I guess.
Yeah. And in the computer modelling world, it's very easy.
Yeah, like especially for big companies like this, like there's plenty can just take and do what they want with, I suppose. But
they do like to do this sort of thing.
Yeah,
don't they? They kind of hide these releases in plain sight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did, when I saw them, think they looked a bit like a turkey with some sort of miniature donkey saddle bag on its back.
Excellent.
I really wasn't that. I just thought, well, just as looking at it, thinking that's going to be very like what I would imagine is like all I saw when I saw that is if that comes out in 28, then what it's going to be is it's going to be one of those new Sentinels, which I think look much worse than the old ones.
I think it has those feet, doesn't it? I think you can see that it has those Sentinel feet, so it's going to be.
And they got those new field guns for the Astra Militarum, haven't they? Those weird and there's one that looks like two little cyclone rocket pod things, and I thought it's just going to be that with some sort of adaptation of that stuck on the back, and I'm going to hate it the second I see it. But they might do something wonderful. So, but I wasn't. I didn't. Yeah. Long story short, I didn't like the look of them. Let's be polite. I just didn't like the look.
Fair enough. Okay, well let's move on from Legions Imperialis. We'll probably do a whole load of stuff when that actually comes out, and I'm going to be painting some stuff for it for the channel. So,
nice.
Cool. So let's have a look. I'll tell you what is actually vaguely linked to that. Now I've said that is the plastic release of the Direwolf Scout Titan. The resin one.
Yes, for in the 80 scale.
It was for Titanicus originally. Obviously, it's now going to be for both, but in plastic. And the model they've shown off has a funky conversion beamer on top of it.
Yeah, third weapon choice.
Yeah, so, as a person who has 28mm Titans, as you do as well, I really want some of these other weapons to appear for the bigger Titans, not just the smaller Titans.
Yeah, I feel like with all this. To be honest, I've been thinking that since AT dropped, though. To be honest, like there's a lot of options that don't exist. Well, I don't know what goes on.
Well, I think they would sell. Enough people have Titans and would want a Volkite Eradicator or Vulcan Megabolt with a Warlord Carapace and that sort of thing. I would be interested in them. So I really hope.
Yeah, obviously I would be interested in different weapons. I know. I suppose most people especially if you've just got the one Titan and it's like your showpiece, you like to have all the options so you can, what switch about or whatever.
Yeah,
But that's
absolutely.
a bit different for the older Titan Owners Club.
They'll be all over it, guaranteed.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, everyone knows boys will want it.
They'd probably make back, design costs first week of sales to them. Those boys are mad for it. But there.
But what do you think about the Direwolf overall, though, as the model? Did you like it when it came out? Do you remember what it looks like?
Yeah. No, I'm just sort of thinking what I actually thought when I first saw it, because I do quite like it. I have to admit, I was the same as all the memes. To be honest, the week it dropped, it does look a bit like I'm going back to turkeys again. There's going to be some sort of trend here.
Are you hungry?
No, I shouldn't be after what I've eaten. Yeah, I do like it. I mean, I didn't like the arms. I felt like
too stubby.
Well, I don't even mind if you've got some stubby guns, but don't make them arms. Guns on the side for whatever they're for, infantry defense or whatever I don't know what they are on the side of the Direwolf.
Some sort of mega bolter variant, aren't they? I think I can't actually remember.
Oh, are they? Yeah. Well, even that, maybe because it's miniature warbringer with the gun sat on its back. I just felt like, I suppose. But then that would be like I would have preferred personally in the model, like if you get the guns on the side, have them a bit more like a sponsor mount, like a sort of mech thing out of some sort of sci-fi film, rather than actual arms.
Yeah, I think I'd have liked to have seen some different options, like being able to replace them with some sort of missile pod or laser destroyer or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, options are all. But that was the only thing that I didn't like about the model, if I'm honest. I just felt like they'd sort of gone in between. Like it's like if
you're breaking up all over the place there, mate.
I haven't done anything. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Just for the rest of the internet, it hasn't disappeared.
Yeah, apologies. I don't know what happened there. Then I was just in the chair.
So they're okay, right? I mean, the only thing I don't like is the feet. The feet bother me a lot.
Yeah.
The two-toed feet. I'm not a fan, to be honest. But yeah, the weapons.
I didn't mind them. Well, I mean,
Ardex Mega Bolters are the arm weapons. There you go. That's what they're called.
Nice.
Yeah, but those guns on top, especially that conversion beamer thing. I'm here for that. Cool. Okay, so
what's next on the list?
Next on the list we haven't covered yet. It's probably more or less it, to be honest. I think the last thing we can touch on really, and we haven't talked about the Infernus Abomination, but it's an assassin. What is there to say really? The model's okay. It has one weapon choice you're going to use all the time, which is an initiative Thunderhammer essentially, and you're going to ignore the rest on you. So.
Yeah.
I mean, the model's okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's all right. But the last one, and this is kind of the reason also I wanted to have you on here to chat to, was the champion that was shown off yesterday. Because he's supposed to be a generic one, and it's not just a paint job. He absolutely screams Imperial Fist to me, or maybe Ultramarine at a push. What do you think? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I 100% agree. There is. I'm trying to think which edition 40k rulebook it is. He is a mod. They redid it for Primaris. There's like a Primaris that's rocking this guy.
Yeah.
And now they've done a champion who is basically the same guy. He's got a different pose, obviously, because he's holding his sword on the ground rather than holding it.
You know about the guy that holds it up in the air who's walking forward with it.
Yeah, and he's got
him,
from way back when. It's I mean, you don't. Are there any consoles with a combi weapon that aren't obviously a Terminator? I don't think so. Like, there's good things to take from it, but yeah, I agree. Like, I just saw that and thought, well, that's just lazy design work.
But I don't think it's a bad model though.
Same model again. I didn't like it.
No, fair enough. I mean, I've
I'll
watched the the Salty Boys over at the Outer Circle did a video on this, and he actually said, it's Macca, isn't he? He actually said that he thought the model was good for a 40k model, but he doesn't think it's a good Heresy model. And I've got to say, I'm loath to say it, but I actually do agree with him. I think it is a good 40k model. I'm not sure it does really fit the aesthetic of Heresy. Maybe it's the Mark 6 thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they might have done better painting him as something that wasn't an Imperial Fist or a Templar, because he looks a lot like the Black Templars that they did recently. I say recently, like a year ago.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's the Black Templar on the cover of that rule book, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they had a model of it way back when, and then they redid it when they did the Primaris Black Templars, and then they've released this guy, and I just feel like I'm looking at that model again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, I don't know, I'm just looking at the back now. I've got to say, I do think the model is good. I mean, I won't be buying one. Because I have no use for it really. But even if I did, I think I'd probably convert a champion rather than buy this guy, because he does look like an Imperial Fist.
Yes.
Oh well.
I don't know. I don't like him. If I'm honest.
Reece has spoken. Reece does not like.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at him, and I'm just thinking like the chains. Yeah, for a loyalist force, the chains are a bit excessive for a loyalist character. Like you say, it fits with the fists.
Yeah.
Because the Templars wear chains. But outside of that, other than the few traitor legions that we know that use chains, I don't know of any that are associated with it, if you like.
The original champion model, the guy that sort of stood up on the step with the sword poking out, he had an icon, a Terminator's Honor's icon chained to his pauldron, didn't he? So they might have just extended the idea of that, but I don't know. I might be reaching a bit. I'm not a huge fan. I'm also not a huge fan of the sword either.
Yeah, I don't like. The swords. Well, I mean, there's only so many things you can do with a sword, but I'm not a fan of it either. The tactical rock's back.
Well, I'm not a fan of it as a 30k model. As a model, I think it's a nice model. I just don't like it.
Yeah, if I'm totally honest, I just look at that, and if you just showed someone that at a glance, they'd think that was a Primaris model. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It wouldn't be till you pay attention to like the knee pads and stuff that maybe you change your mind.
Yeah, in fact, it's only when you see the helmeted version really you think, oh, okay, yeah, it's Mark 6.
Yeah, like you can very much see that the 40k teams had a hand in that. Whether they have or not, I don't know, but like that's what it looks like.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to have a little look at before we
I don't know. Anything else you haven't covered, or you feel you haven't covered?
I think I've already had a moan about the reboxing of the vehicles.
Have you talked about the plastic knights?
No, good shout. We have not talked about plastic knights.
So I can be much more upbeat now because I am absolutely ecstatic for these.
I'm pumped for this. I thought they would be under Heresy Thursday. I guess they won't be, will they? Because they're kind of generic. So let me just see if I can find this somewhere. It's not that long ago it was shown off, was it? Just gonna. Normally I'll be now. Talk amongst yourselves, everyone, while I go and find this.
Yeah, that's it.
Thing about knights, but 40 years of the paladin. No, we don't want that, do we? Or maybe you do. I don't know. Preview epic scale knights. Here we go. That'll do. Let's have a look at this then. So they've already shown. What did they show before? Was it the Lancer?
Yeah, the Lancer was because there was a big fad around that, wasn't there?
Yeah. And okay, yes. So they've shown off the Castigator, and they had to show off the Acheron after someone sold a sprue of it on eBay.
Yes.
For everyone to see. So I mean, he doesn't take a genius to work out that they were going to come in plastic anyway. But it was still interesting to see it on eBay well before it had been officially announced. Yeah, Plastic Knights. I mean, I'm all for it. How much is Saras's Knight now? 140, 150 quid? No, they're more than that, aren't they? Like
More than
200
that,
something now.
200, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Way back when, about 5 weeks ago, when they were 150.
oof, okay. So, I mean, what's a normal Knight now? Questor's Knight is.
They're 100 quid from GW, I believe.
So, what do you reckon he's going to be? 120?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be more.
Mm-hmm.
I'd argue that there's no reason for them to be more.
Well, are they all going to be separate kits? Have they actually announced that they're separate kits?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd happily pay more if it was like one kit and you can magnetize all the arms and heads, etc.
Yeah, because that's what
But
the other Knight is now, isn't it? You get everything in there.
I would say on GW performances of the last year or two, I would bet they'd all be separate kits, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I'm okay with that, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I'm okay with that because I would want one of each anyway. So,
I've got
I've got absolutely no complaints about that. Like,
it's annoying they've done this now because I literally recently got a castigator and resin, and not long before that, a lance.
yeah, I'm so glad that my knights have been collecting dust. That my normal plastic knights have been collecting dust because that was the next stage to add all the Forge World knights, and now they're going to be plastic, and I'm really excited about that. And so is my wallet.
I am too about the Acheron anyway. I'll get that in plastic. There's one of those, but yeah, the other guys, unfortunately, are all about the resin. Yeah, good. Long may it continue.
So, yeah,
like some more stuff like that. Do you think we'll ever get the plastic Porphyr on?
I don't. That's a disgusting model.
No, the model's lovely. What are you about? Disgusting in game.
Yeah, it's disgusting in game. No, it's a beautiful thing. No, I don't. No, because it's almost tight and level, isn't it? It can't be far off. I'm pretty sure yours is almost as tall as my hound. I know my hound stoops a little bit, but
yeah, they are quite big.
They're quite big, and Forge World is supposed to be for the sort of what would you say, like the prime. I don't know. Well,
the giant war machines and things, isn't it?
Yeah, like the one of a kind per army type models, isn't it? So
centerpiece. That's what you're looking for.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, sorry, mate. I mean, straight off the building sites. Yeah. I mean, no, I don't think they will, but
okay, all right. Well, that's a good little catch up. Sorry for everyone who was watching the weekly kind of let's talk about this Heresy release video. Real life got in the way, commissions got in the way, events got in the way that I run with Reece. As well as lots of other things going on. So we will restore the Let's Talk About whatever the Heresy Thursday release is, probably from next week. And then there'll be a gap because I'm on holiday. So as soon as I reinstate it, and then it will come back again. Yeah, because it's good. It's good to have Heresy Thursday. It's good to see new stuff. They have announced they're going to be showing the Legions Imperialis stuff on Heresy Thursday as well because it's Heresy setting. Presumably that will bleed also into perhaps Titanicus and Aeronautica in time, as they're also going to be set in the same one now. We haven't talked about the culling of Aeronautica because that's kind of beyond the scope today. But just a quick sentence of what were your thoughts on that, Reece?
My only thought on it was when they said they were culling everything else is it's obviously not selling.
No, it's a shame.
Because
nice models.
Yeah, it's just going to be one of those little niche games that, like, those that have got it might still play over a couple of beers on a Friday night, and that'll be it, I guess.
Yeah. Never mind. Rest in peace, 40k Aeronautica. Welcome to the party, 30k Aeronautica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Right. Well, thanks everyone for listening to our little ramble. I'm sure we'll get Reece on again soon. In fact, I think we've already tapped you up to come on when we do the Imperial Fists faction review as a Fist player.
Oh yeah.
Probably lots of opinions. Cool. Okay. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.